it's gone.
What have you been watching on Netflix?
Bro, fucking everything. I've restarted watching Vikings again. Like I'm up to season 3 on Vikings again.
I just started watching Vikings last night. I watched the first 3 episodes. Everybody been telling me you should watch the Vikings because I don't
Yeah.
like that Game of Thrones bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't like dragons and fucking wizards and shit like that.
The Game of Thrones gets to be too much, bro. Like it's good, but like, come on, stop it.
Yeah, I watched a couple seasons, because everybody's like, "Oh, it's the greatest thing, since sliced bread." And I was like, "All right, let me give it a chance." But then it just got too much, man. Like the fucking wizards and dudes with no dicks and shit. Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, it's weird, man. Some weird shit in that motherfucker. So I just like
Once
said, "Fuck it."
I got in, I stayed with it. Like I didn't stay with it. I started and then I finished it. But like the goddamn the end, like, it just got wild at the end of it. It's like, come on, you guys are just trying to finish this fucking show up now. But I've been watching just random documentaries and like all sorts of shit. I'm literally just sitting at the house trying not to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But Vikings is pretty good though. Like the first couple episodes, I was like, okay, I could get into this. It's some
yeah,
like take over and conquer, and there's no like bullshit in it, like wizardry and shit like that. So I just
it's
like how like the English are just so peaceful. It seems like, right?
yeah, yeah. They just stupid palms.
And the Vikings are just like, man, these people are so stupid. I'm just at that point, like where the Vikings are like, how weak are these motherfuckers? They just sit there and
Let's go take all this shit.
yeah, exactly. Like they're like, oh, you just got gold and like
Yeah,
silver and diamonds and shit just laying around in these churches. Let me just take all that shit from you, and
yeah.
it's a trip, man. But yeah, now let's talk about your situation, dude, because we are live. We've been live for like 2 minutes. Your situation right now, uh, Australia, the toilet paper. I feel like everybody wants to know about your toilet paper situation. What's going on with the toilet paper?
Bro, first off, I lived in Thailand for 4 years, so I'm not concerned about some toilet paper. I will wash my ass with water like a normal human. But I mean, I got 2 packets of wet wipes that flushable wet wipes that I got early. Man, it's wild, bro. Like 2 week, it was a week ago now, maybe 2 weeks ago. I think it hit the news that like the shit had happened in Japan or something. And then I went up to the Woolworths right up the street from my house, and it was just gone. All the toilet paper was gone. That was the first thing to go though. All the toilet paper, but all the food and everything was still there, right? Completely still there. And then like roll forward maybe like 2, 3, 4 days, then all the food started going. And now you go up there and it's bare shelves, bro. It's apocalyptic up there.
Why all of a sudden though? Why all of a sudden the toilet paper? Why what are people saying about that?
That's the thing. Nobody's got a fucking answer for it. Because I'll ask people like, yo, why is everybody buying up all the toilet paper? What part of this has led you to believe that like toilet paper is a huge commodity? I don't know, and I still like nobody knows. Nobody understands why. But it's like there's you can't fucking eat toilet paper. Like if people are like truly worried that this is going to be some kind of like a long term lockdown scenario or like something like that, like what is all the toilet paper going to do for you, bro? Like people have been wiping their asses without toilet paper for thousands of years. You'll be straight, but people people probably need to eat something. You know, you're in a city. You can't go outside and just harvest some crops or go kill something. So maybe get some food.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's probably just mass hysteria in many ways. Like somebody just went in there.
100%, bro. 100%. Like people fucking acting like so wild. Got people up there, old ladies fighting over toilet paper and shit. And like now they got all these just up in my like local Woolworths. They got like maximums on everything you can buy. You can only buy like this much rice. You can only buy this much flour. You know, because people are going in there and fucking you get these crazy assholes that'll go in there and they'll buy the entire store just to go home and sit on it. You know, I hope all these people. I hope that like if all these that they just end up sitting on all this shit for like 30 years. You just gotta fucking enjoy your 900 rolls of toilet paper, bro. Because the shops are putting up that they won't. They're not gonna buy it back. Yeah, like nah. If you bought all that shit like a dickhead, you can't return it.
What if toilet paper becomes like crack? You know what I mean? Like in the street, like there's dudes on the corner.
Yo, I
Like what
got
if
it,
you had
bro.
to start ended up slanging that shit?
I got that good 3-ply, bro.
that Charmin, right?
Yeah, right. I got that. I got that good. I got that hard and that soft.
Yeah. For real. It's wild, man. Like in Korea, there's nothing about. There's no like, it's probably worse in Korea than it was, or it was worse. And there's nobody like we get everything delivered to the house. Like there's no like toilet paper missing, nothing.
Everybody's straight. Yeah. So like that's
Yeah.
that. And yeah, I don't get like I get it is. I guess it's supposed to blow up pretty bad down here in Oz, kind of from what they're projecting. But like, it just doesn't make sense, man.
Mm.
Like, I just don't get it. And like, and then like the same things happen back in the states too. Like I guess the shelves over there just everything's gone. Like what it is like I think you hit the nail on the head, man. It's the mass hysteria. People are fucking stupid. People are.
What what's the gym situation like at Absolute?
So we shut down from Monday. So
Mm.
on Monday, the gym officially closed its doors, just because
Until
I think they just did it like out of abundance of caution was kind of the idea. Just because, man, I mean, look, we got 3 gyms down here. You never know what like where people are going or what they're doing or anything. And like to be completely honest, man, I'm still seeing like I've seen all these other gyms stay open and guys are doing one-on-ones and all this kind of shit. And Jeff Kern put up like an interesting Instagram post the other day. It's like, yo, man, you guys are all concerned about like still trying to do your one-on-ones and stuff like this. And like, yeah, there's not a lot of people in the gym, but you don't know where the person you're doing the one-on-one, like what is he doing like the rest of this time? If he's not like doing what I'm doing. I'm just sitting at the house. Like, but I know people are still out trying to like do stuff. It's like you don't know where all these other people have been. And from everything I've read and shit, like this could all be absolute horseshit too. But it's like the thing is the thing it's airborne and like you can catch it from walking around where somebody's been. Like it's the fucking point, man.
yeah, it's a trip like
I mean,
businesses.
you guys have been all like you guys have been like put in the house right for a little while now, like not going anywhere
Yeah,
type
it's
shit.
it's it's mostly like the self quarantine, you know what I mean? Uh like I self quarantined last month.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Like
last
it's
week of last month, like my job, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna be cautious and we're gonna shut down." So I was like, "All right, let's I'm gonna stay home then. If my job is gonna shut down, they don't want me to come into work, then I'm not gonna even leave the house anymore."
yeah, so exactly the same mindset I had. If the gym's like, yo, we're not gonna keep going, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I will hang out of the house. Like, I'm not trying to go out and be doing something. Like, people are still going out to bars and still going out and doing. It's just like, y'all are wild, man. But now I'm hearing some rumors down here in Oz that we might be going on a lockdown. So it's like
Like
straight up,
government issued, like
yeah.
everybody.
Everybody like keep your ass indoors. Like you can go to the grocery store, and that is it.
Damn.
Like Italy style. Sorry, bro. Ah,
Well, that's actually, if people are not listening, I'm all for that.
hell
If
yeah.
people are not listening, I'm all for it. Like lock that shit down. Like
Yeah,
you must have enough toilet paper because it's all gone. You must have
yeah,
some food because if you don't, you're a fucking idiot. And
yeah, man.
and just keep in your house for a couple of weeks, man. It's not like you're gonna eat your out of your house and home unless you're stoned out of your mind or something. So
Yeah. Just lay back, chill out. Like at the end of the day, like they've done a good job, and I don't know if it wouldn't be the case probably, but like the food, like if you can keep like the food delivery services going, that'd be great.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
that they should make it like that because over here it's like all like people can go outside. There's no like government lockdown because before they had the law where like you could shut down like areas of the country, but then they passed some law to like counteract that to where you can't control people in a certain area. So like the government just suggested everybody to like shut down or whatever, and then people took precaution automatically because it was
Yeah,
spreading. You know what I mean? Like I don't know anybody that has the fucking virus
yeah,
myself, but but it's spreading. You know what I mean? The news tells you like it's spreading and shit. The government tells you it's spreading, so it's like you get kind of paranoid. So it's
what are
okay
we
to
gonna?
be paranoid. You know what I mean? A little bit. So
Well, that's the
you
thing.
get locked down, you shut down.
That's the whole thing, man. Like if it's better to be like, at the end of the day when it was shit like this, it's better to be safe than sorry. Like fuck it, I'm not concerned. Like my fight's canceled. Like I can't work it. I can't go to the gym. So like, what am I gonna do anyway? Like, I'm just gonna sit here. Like, yeah.
When did you find out? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people that follow Rizin, they're always waiting for announcements. You know what I mean? Because nothing was official yet. You know, there
Nothing's
was a lot of the Twitter speculations. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Manel's gonna fight for he's gonna defend his title, and which I don't know where that came from. And then there
yeah.
was the what's his name Asakura was gonna fight No Face, but that kind of like that made sense because it was on the last Rizin at the end. He came on into the ring, right? But
They,
you know, when did you find out?
well, I'd known I was fighting for a while. Like I could say all this now, so whatever. I was gonna fight. It was gonna be a pretty big card. I
Mhm.
think they're still working towards trying to do it as much as they can, but like they just with all these. I talked to Shingo. Would have been Monday or Tuesday this week, and we were still trying to like figure out what we could do, if it's gonna happen, what's gonna go down. Like, I'm not gonna like put a bunch of their shit out there because I don't know where they stand right now either. But
Yeah.
it's like as soon as Australia started putting out all these travel bans and this kind of shit, he's just like, dude, there's no way we're gonna be able to get you out. And I was like,
Mhm.
yeah, like the thing was only for, I guess the original thing was like it was just a travel warning for Australian citizens. But then like I think as of today, somebody told me like the borders are closed. So like if I leave, I can't get back in. And it's just gonna be hectic for a minute. But yeah, so I was planning on fighting. That's not happening. Who knows when that'll happen? The problem with this shit is, bro, is my gym's closed. Can't fight. That's how I make money, bro. Those two things,
Mhm.
coach, fucking. So it's like, well, hopefully they start hopefully they start suspending rents or something, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, come kick me out.
That's what I'm saying.
Come evict me. Try it.
Yeah. You gotta do the squatting and shit. You gotta do some squatting over there.
Seriously, it's fucking
Yeah,
wild
so
over there.
like with the Yokohama card, they were building it, and you know, I actually like
Yeah, it
messaged
was.
back and forth with Shingo, and you know, when I was messaging back and forth, he was just like, "Man, it's hectic times, dude." Like this was
Yeah,
weeks ago, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Japan basically shut everything down. I don't even think like even Koreans can't even go to Japan. It's
yeah,
just locked down. So I think that's the right thing to do too, because at the same time, if they're not gonna have the Olympics in Japan in a couple of months, nothing's
yeah.
gonna happen in Japan, dude, because it's
No,
just how it
because
works.
the money Japan pumped in for the Olympics and stuff, like, yeah, dude, if you're not gonna go through with that, and like, come on. And at the end of the day, like man, like let's be real. Japan has a great thing going that they're an island. Like they're pretty
Mhm.
self-sustained up there, and like if you start letting all these people in, and there's actually some shit going on, it's really easy for shit to spread to an island though too. So
Yeah,
if you kind of
yeah.
lock your borders up a little bit, let that go. You guys can stay out for a while. It's smart.
Yeah, I guess it's the best time to actually be an island or isolated or a small country compared to a big country.
Well, or even just a country that like locks up its board, like is a bit
Mhm.
more. You gotta think like I reckon like that's what happened with like Italy and stuff. It's like all of the EU over there, people just kind of flow in and out, and boom, shit's fucking done, bro.
Yeah,
I don't.
man, it's a
That being
trip.
said, going back to it, still don't know anybody who has it. So,
Hey, somebody was asking on Twitter about like what is your workouts at home consist
uh,
of?
my workouts at home have consisted of fuck all. I've done. I've seen all these guys putting up all these videos of like getting it in the house. And nah, bro, I'm good. I have been attached to my couch and watching Netflix. Oh shit! Like
You think
if
that's a little bit of fuckery right there? Like that's for the gram, like they put on their little outfits for 10 minutes?
I'm so sick of people out here just fucking like all right, man, I'm gonna do these push-ups for you. Make sure you record it. Like if it didn't get recorded, I'm like stop, bro, stop. Come on. If it gets like if this thing goes a little bit longer, like yeah, I'll start getting some work in the house. But like come on, right now you can take a week off, bro. You'll be fine.
You could do the burpees, you know what I mean? Like burpees is like the
Do you know
OG
what's not?
workout.
Do you know what's not happening? Me doing burpees in my house. That that's prison shit. Roll up my mattress, do some squats with my mattress on my back.
Yeah. No, you get your girl to get on your back, you know what I mean? And then you could do the squats.
Do some partner workouts.
Yeah, lunges and shit, you know. You know someone's gonna come with that. You know someone's gonna be on the gram with their girl doing these prison workouts together.
1,000%. Now that we've said it, it's going to be out there.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't deal with all that Instagram shit. Maybe that'll be one good thing that comes from this whole apocalypse. Maybe we'll like properly get like a little reset with some of that stuff.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you,
with
if I wasn't in a fight game and shit, I would not have any social media.
I think like if I wasn't doing this stuff, I probably wouldn't be on social media at all, to be honest
Dude,
with you. You know what I mean? It's just being on
no
here for
time
the last couple of years, it just kind of I lost it. Yeah, it's just
there.
if
And I've
if
caught
someone knows me, they know you. You know what I mean? It's not like you could prove anything else.
Yeah, and I've caught myself since I've been over here like quarantined and shit, like just laying on the couch and just scrolling for the
Mm.
sake of scrolling. And it's like, man, you gotta quit that. That ain't good for you. You gotta.
Hey,
It's a book.
how much of a trap is like Instagram? You know that little magnifying glass?
Yeah, it's the worst.
Dude, man, like I'm a
Especially,
married man, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But man, that magnifying glass is a trap right there. Like you could just push that.
yeah, and there's some shit'll come out and be like, oh, like all right, well, let me.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's trickery and fuckery in there, man. It's just like optical illusions and shit. Like you just, it's like, what? How did they? I don't even search for these people, and how did they end up in that magnifying glass?
You might like. Well, yeah, I might like that. Yeah, you fucking prick.
Yeah, so weird shit in there, man. But
Wow.
now with Ryzen, man, like let's get into all the Ryzen shit because I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to talk. They want to hear about it.
Yeah,
With there's like right now the champions. You know what I mean in Ryzen. There's the girl Hamzoe. She's the super atomweight champion. There's Manel Cape.
legit, she's my favorite fighter.
Yeah, she's my favorite Korean fighter of all time. Like
Yeah,
she has been in the game. She's an OG, man. Like she's been around for a long time.
so good, so violent.
Yeah. Yeah. And you got Manel Cape and then that's it. I think that's the only two champions, right?
Tofik, is that
Oh,
his or
Tofik is the lightweight Grand Prix. Yeah, he's a champion too, right? So
that the last belt or was that just a GP belt? I don't really remember how that
I don't
worked.
know. I think if you won that GP, you're probably the champ. You know what I mean? You
Okay.
probably have the belt.
Yeah.
So I kind of like how what's his name? Horiguchi won the tournament too. He basically
Yeah.
got the belt from that. So I think he's the champ. Now, that leaves like so many weight divisions, right? Like for yourself, of course, you want to bring in that special weight division, which is the open weight Jake division. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
do you see them opening up other divisions though? Before we get into the open weight stuff, do you see them open up like a flyweight? Don't you think there's enough
Yeah,
fighters
man.
to put it together a flyweight division?
Yeah, I think flyweight would do well up there. I think there's enough good guys that flyweight could be a real good one. I reckon this year up there you'll probably see them. I mean, fuck if we fucking fight this year,
Mhm.
it'd be you're gonna see some more belts come out. I think they're gonna try and make some stuff go on. There'll definitely be one in one of the bigger weight classes. I think it's just a matter of if it's at heavy, light heavy, or fucking something else. But yeah, definitely flyweight, bro. There's some talent up there, man. There's some good fly and bantam though. Like there's guys there
Mhm.
that yeah, like there's dudes in both of those weight classes up there. That are like, it's good. That's like
Well,
I
I
reckon
think yeah,
Rizin bantamweight division is fucking it's packed, bro. There's heat in
yeah.
that thing.
One of the best men in the world. It's competitive with like any other promotion.
Yeah, straight up. Like you take like the top, you take the top, you take the top, and you put them against each other. Like it's fucking good, man.
It's some fucking good fights. Like, and plus they could go down to flyweight. I know a lot of those bantamweights could probably drop down and fight in
Yeah,
flyweight. So it actually
a
makes it fun to have those divisions, both of them.
lot of those dudes aren't like big, like the big like wrestler type bantamweights and stuff.
Mhm.
You know they can make it for sure. But like it's like you said though, that's the kind of the good thing about Rise though too is like dudes can jump around and they'll do catch weights and stuff too. So like there's no so you get some good flyweights, you get some good bantamweights or whatever, and then you can start having them like meet up and do little super flyweight fights, whatever the hell they want to call it. Like
Yeah, there's no set order. You know what I mean? Well, I don't think any promotion has a set order of like this is how. Because if you look at the UFC, it's not like the number one guy always gets a title shot. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's
it
just
doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know why they
mm,
bother having rankings to if they're not going to use them. Like how many times have you seen like champion versus the number 5 contender? Like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
yeah. Well, like that's what I'm saying. Like people want to like talk about how the UFC is doing it, but like if you look at every other promotion, you got to have some leeway. And like
Yeah,
you said, there shouldn't be any rankings. There should be like these are the top guys. You
Yep.
don't need to put them in order. And whoever doesn't want to fight, they don't fight for the title. And if you already fought, then you go to the back of the line, and then the next guy comes up, right? It's like
Yeah.
there's like a what is it a logical way of doing it every single time. But one thing about Ryzen is the catch weights. Every fight is a new fight, basically, unless you have
Yeah.
the title, right?
Yeah. No, 100%, man. Like it's great because they just the way they do things is they're really not super concerned with like your wins and your losses and that sort of shit. Like I mean, maybe if like you're looking at a title picture or you're in a GP or something like that, yeah, it absolutely matters. But outside of that, they're just trying to go put on a story of that fight. You know what I mean? They want that fight to be the singular fucking event. They don't really care about the sort of thing, which is nice because it lets you kind of go out and kind of put your dick on the table and go to work as opposed to, I got to go out and fight safe and I'm gonna just wrestle this guy and that kind of shit. Nobody wants to see that shit, though.
Going, a little bit going off topic, I mean, like the last time you fought was on New Year's Eve, and
Yeah, man.
actually that's the first time, I've interviewed a bunch of times, but that was the first time I actually met you in person, and
Yeah. Fuck, I
and
forgot you.
huh?
So I forgot you were up there. Yeah, it's been a
Yeah.
while now.
Yeah, it's been a while. So like that's the first time I met you in person. And a lot of people talk about the fandom in Japan, what I mean? Because you fought for the PFL, Bellator, you've been around to many of these different promotions, but man, if you don't go there and see it and watch like and experience it at the hotel, like what the fandom is like for the fighters, then you don't
Exactly.
understand really like you could talk fighters can talk about it, but it's like,
Yeah,
man, there's lines for people like
dude.
at the hotel. Like I've
Yeah,
been to
man.
UFCs and I've been to all these other promotions, man. They don't have that at the hotels. You've been there. So
I've been
compare that. Like,
I've been to all of it, bro. But it's like no, it's like I spent like I tried to explain it to people. They're like, oh yeah, man, cool. Like you have a sense matter. It's like no, like this last time on New Year's Eve, I couldn't get out of the lobby for 45. Like it was great. I love all the fans up there, but I spent 45 minutes at one point just down there, just banging out. It's great, but it's like man, it's another level. The fans up there, they're they're so good. They're so into it, and it's awesome, man. They really love the sport and they like not only just the sport, like they love Rizin. Like they're big Rizin fans. They're not like MMA fans. They love fucking Rizin. And then but then on top of that, like they become like your fan too. Like you'll see them like they respect all the other guys, but like there's guys that they're your people. They like make eye
mm,
contact, bring you gifts and shit. And it's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. I
yeah,
love
it
it though.
is. It's fun to watch, man. That there are people out there that kind of support the fighters that deep. I mean, you don't really see that too much in other countries. But yeah, there's like gifts and even the cornermen. They know who your cornermen are. Like they know. Like it's crazy.
Like my corner was getting photos taken. My girl at the time was getting Danae was she'd go up and she'd people would ask her for photos and I would think they want me to take it with her and they're like no, we just want her. I'd be like all right, cool. Fucking
Yeah, it's
wow.
fun. It's fun,
Yeah.
man. It's fun to yeah, what New Year's Eve, man. That's probably I think that was like how many New Year's Eve card was it was fucking huge, dude. Like
There's
that
supposedly
place
there's
was packed. Walking out, man, like talk
43
about
something.
that, man, like to that crowd cuz
Love
like
it.
it's probably the biggest so far for your rising career.
Yeah,
Was
for
it?
sure. Yeah, yeah. Because it was sold out. So I mean, that was sold out.
Mhm.
So I thought so that's like 43. So yeah, man, that was wild. I love like the walkouts and shit up there, bro. That shit makes it like it's such. There's so much like you can cut the energy up there with with a knife when you're walking out, man. It's great and like I don't know. I don't get it, man. I hear these like you hear guys like being nervous and all this type of shit. It's like, nah, man, you gotta go take that and take that energy and fucking it's great. But yeah, I got to be like with the walkouts and everything too up there, man, because they let me fucking kind of fuck around and do my shit. But when you get up there when the crowd is huge like that, it makes it so much better. So like I was really looking forward. I was been working on some stuff for these new ones, but I'm not gonna be able to fight. So hopefully we hopefully we get a fight soon so I can start busting on some new walkouts. But man, the 43 was wild. The one I want to get to though, I've been hearing all these rumors about, and it's not going to happen now. I don't reckon. But the Tokyo Dome, fucking
Yeah.
that would absolutely insane. So like we need to all collectively push to get Rizin to the Tokyo Dome this year. If the world continues.
That would, that's like the dream right there. That Tokyo Dome is like legit
Like
gigantic.
when's the last time they went there? Like it would have been like 2002 or something like that. They had a
Yeah.
Tokyo Dome or Inoki
Maybe
or something
like the Bob Sapp when Bob Sapp was fighting, you know what I mean? That's probably it.
years ago. But like that's legit. Like that's like 90,000, isn't it? Something wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have to bring in some heavy hitters, man, for that one.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you'd have to have some big. You'd have to have all the big guys they already have, and then you need to bring out like you'd have to do some of the freak show shit. I reckon.
Hmm.
You know,
I think
maybe
that they're gonna try to bring in like the Bellator. They got
yeah,
because that would be something they could do with Bellator when they can bring in, the bigger names that are kind of more known in Japan, the old school
yeah,
guys, and
yeah,
maybe they could have you fight Vanderlei or something.
yeah. Dude, sold, done. Let's do it. I've been asking for that fight for ages. I would let's let Mandalay get super juice back up first too.
So it'd be kind of like an even match.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he hasn't fought it so long, man. He's kind of disappeared somewhat.
It's nothing happen. You got to think, man. Like I'm not talking shit. Like Vanderlei's one of my fucking like heroes in this game, but like the way that he fought and everything, and like some of those wars he's been in, the dude would have some miles on him by now. Like
Mhm.
I'm not. It's probably not the worst thing if he's not out there just getting in scraps all the time and shit. But man,
When you have had plastic surgery on your face, you've been
yeah,
in some fucking wars.
fucking battles. I will think and like bless that dude, as opposed to like just like I'm gonna get my nose fixed because it's broken. It's like no, no. I'm gonna change my like the structure of my face so I can get more air in while I'm fighting because I'm a lunatic and now I look like Voldemort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking wild, man. Wild,
Now
wild.
with the open weight, right?
Yeah,
Um, I think that they should make an open weight belt. To be the reason why is because when you make a light heavyweight belt, you kind of limit the range of weight. You know what I mean? So if you make it open weight, because guys that are like 205, they can fight a guy 230. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because there's no weight cutting. So it's
yeah.
just like you walk in.
Guys that fight are at 205 are 230. Okay,
Exactly.
day that's what they weigh. You know what I mean? Like,
So when you look at like Yuri, right? Yuri, he of course he left the belt on the table, went to the UFC. There's a
yeah,
lot of people that don't know who the fuck he is. There's a lot of people that don't know who the hell he is. There's a lot of people that know who he is. But then
yeah,
when
yeah,
you look at it, like if there's a matchup like you would think would be great for him to like debut like a
yeah.
fighter that he should debut against, because a lot of people say, oh, he should debut against a top 15 guy, and to me, I don't think he should. I think he should fight somebody that has a name but it's not like in that top 15 yet, because nobody
I,
knows who he is.
I think they need to give him somebody like you're saying, somebody with a name, but give him a striker. Give him somebody who's going to stand up with him. You know, give him an Alexander Gustafsson or something. Where's he ranked? Is he ranked high? I
Mhm.
don't know. I think
No,
like
I
there's
think he's retired for a while. He retired, now he's coming back.
but like something like that, or like somebody that's going to stand up with him and stuff. You don't want to go out there and give him some high end wrestler right away or something like that. Just because it's nothing against his like wrestling ability or anything. Fact of the matter is it's just the way that we fight in Rising. It's just not used as much. Guys are out there going out and throwing, and where in the UFC, guys fight a lot safer, and they're fighting not to win, they're fighting not to lose a lot. And I think you can, if you're a guy who goes out there looking for a win, and you're fighting a guy who's just fighting not to lose, it can kind of screw you up sometimes.
Mm.
So
Oh,
I think
definitely, definitely.
I think Jiri's gonna go a long way. I think it's just gonna be a matter of kind of how the UFC matches him. To be honest with you,
Mm.
they go out there and they throw him to the wolves right away. It's it can be a rough road. But if they kind of they go out and they give him a guy, then move him up to fight a guy top 20, fight a guy top 10, then keep going like that. Like he's not. I'm not saying he's fucking 10 fights out of it, but give the kid 3-4 fights, 3-4, and then let him go. Just like they should with anybody that they just signed.
Mm.
And like Yuri's young too, bro. He's fucking not an
Yeah,
old dude. He's like 26, fucking
yeah, he's a kid.
Viking looking man. Fuck that guy.
Uh,
Fucking
I think
Jiri.
I think I think he should fight Johnny Walker in his first fight.
What's that?
I think Johnny Walker would be a good fight for him.
Oh yeah, dude, he'd annihilate Johnny Walker. I don't know why people pump that guy. He's not good. Yeah, I think
But it's a good matchup.
it's a great matchup for him. And I was just as we're sitting here thinking about it, who would actually be a really good fight for Jiri. He's a little high ranked, but fucking Dominic Reyes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I reckon that'd be a great fight for him. That's a tough fight, but stylistically, it's a great matchup for Jiri. But what you don't want to do is like they were talking about him like fighting Bader or people like that. It's like that probably wouldn't have been a good matchup for you because
Yeah.
Bader will get on top of you if he has to. Dude can
Well, they were
wrestle.
trying to make that fight though. They were trying to make it, but they didn't give enough money to Bader, so Bader didn't sign the contract.
Yeah, yeah. Bader's an interesting one, man. That's a fight I wouldn't mind grabbing here down the end of the next year or so.
Yeah, Bader's an interesting. Yeah, he seems like he's hit his prime, where
Yeah,
he
just hit that
he's so
stride, man.
smart now. Like I think he's his mind, like the mental side of it caught up with him. So where like his physical skills are always been there, it's just the mental side, and he can go in there and like pick apart dudes and use a game plan that will beat
Yeah,
all the fighters, and then he has that knockout power. So yeah, it'll be a
I
good
think
fight for anybody.
I think you just kind of hit the nail on the head, like the nail on the head a little bit with it, man. It's like I'm starting to kind of feel it a little bit myself too. I'm not there yet, but it's like as opposed to just you get to a point where like you've been doing it long enough, where as opposed to going out and like just trying to fucking kill somebody or you're not thinking like you kind of go out and just kind of like you keep that level of relaxation and just kind of all right, I know what I'm doing now. Like I know what I need to do to get this done, and like that's kind of why I'm not happy about this whole thing getting pushed back because it's the illness and everything. I was really hitting a stride with it, where like you really start to see stuff, like it's really becoming a bit of a game, and it's hopefully this all this shit clears out soon because don't want to get too rusty, bro. But like yeah, but
Well,
like
you get in
Bader,
the zone, right? Like you
yeah,
get in that zone where it's like that you could see shit coming before it comes.
and like you see it with Bader. Bader used to be a terrible striker, and like he would just bomb. He'd have that big
Mhm.
overhand and he'd be bombing. But now he goes out and like you said, he's like picking dudes apart because I mean he's been in the game a while now. You start to understand what guys are doing, what they're trying to do to you, that kind of shit.
I feel like a lot of guys they don't reach that point before they
No,
actually retire. You know what I mean? Like they have a lot of the guys are physically gifted. You know what I mean? A lot of the guys, you know how it is. Everybody works hard. Not everybody, but most people work hard. Most fighters work hard, and they're physically gifted. A lot of the guys are more physically gifted and athletically gifted than some of the other fighters. You know what I mean? And but the mental side, they don't
yeah,
reach that point where they could get in the zone in the cage or the ring, and that's
yeah.
why they don't reach their potential, right? And
No,
some
it's
guys
great.
give up before they could reach it. You've probably seen the guys do that.
Some dudes give up, or they have a couple bad losses and it completely screws them up. Or a lot of guys will because they don't reach that point where they can kind of see stuff and they fight a bit like just you fight like there's that thing like fighting like kind of like a wily veteran, like you're
Mhm.
not gonna the wily vet, he's not gonna beat you like head to head, he's gonna beat you on some other stuff. But guys, before they kind of get to that point, I think they burn themselves out.
Mhm.
Dudes will lose their chin or dudes will get hurt or they're just done and they just I don't know,
It's
man.
almost it's kind of like I see like Cody Garbrandt kind of going in that direction too. Like he reached the highest of the high levels. With the style that he has, but he didn't get to reach his full potential, even though he became the champ already. But I feel like he has that physical skill set, that speed, man. That speed kills, man, and he has that. The hands.
He's got great boxing. Like I think people fucking think Cody's just like a good striker for MMA or whatever. But like if you watch him, like Cody actually has very, very technical, good boxing for boxing. Like, and I think if he could have continued to go, um, continue to fucking keep moving, like he would have really done something well. And like I'm not saying that's not going to happen, but like it's just right now he's just kind of I think he just kind of ran into a bit of a brick wall with it.
Yeah, he's like a turning point right now for him. It's like, is the mental side, right? Stepping into
Yeah,
that cage and being able to adjust to your opponent, right? Instead of going there, because he's done well just going out and brawling, right?
yeah.
And
Uh,
and
just
like,
watching the news. They're shutting down the Australian borders for everybody that's not Australian
oh, coming in.
coming in. Yeah, So yeah, so
Uh,
if I'd have gone to Japan, not getting back in.
yeah, you'd be over there
Yeah,
sitting in some hotel, sitting in some
right. There's some
getting your sushi on with your
there's,
ramen and shit.
there's some shoebox in Rapongi.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So like that's an interesting topic I think with fighters is like a lot of guys fighters. I interview fighters like all the time. So I asked them about like what's going on and there's a lot of fighters will say the same shit like this is the best I have ever felt and cuz sometimes you kind of give stock questions, or stock answers to stock questions.
Yeah, it's the set talking points. Everybody goes through it,
Mhm.
man. Like, oh, camp's been great. I've never felt better. I've revamped my strength and conditioning. It's like, have you revamped your strength and conditioning every camp of your life forever? Shut up, dude.
Yeah, but with that side, like I think that's why when you see guys jumping around, a lot of people think of that in a negative way, but really, a lot of guys they could only go to a certain point with certain coaches, and
Yeah,
it's not saying that that's a bad coach, but maybe that coach you could only go to this level, and then now you
no,
got to go find someone else to take you to that next level. But another guy, a different fighter, can go to that same coach and get to the highest level of the high. They could be a champ with them. It all depends, right?
it all depends on it depends on the person. It depends on the coach, and like you can come up with one coach, right? And like, yeah, you got your loyalty or whatever. So, but look, you can exhaust that relationship and what you can learn from them. There's nothing like guys get really like up in the head about like, no man, it's all about loyalty and I'm gonna do this. Like, nah, man. Like, at the end of the day, like if that's your coach and like that's who your person's been like, and they've been there holding you down, like they're gonna want you to move on and go. You got to go learn new things. You got to go figure out new shit. Like this game evolves so much, and if you just stay in you're like stay like doing the same shit you did when you started, bro. You're gonna run into a brick wall and you're gonna be done. You gotta go. You can learn something from anybody, man. You can learn something. I could go to some random gym in the middle of nowhere and have some crazy systemic coach teach me a bunch of bullshit, and I'll flush 98% of it. But I might pick up 2% from him that I can be like, I could use something. I could use that, you weirdo. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with bounce. Yes, I'm gonna blow my nose real quick on me. Oh,
yeah. That's if you guys watching, you guys got some questions, hit them up.
yeah.
Everybody wants to know about that Rizin news.
About the
The
what?
only news we know is that the Yokohama card is not
Yeah.
happening. The
Oh, is it
borders are
official?
closed. Japan
Still,
is on lockdown. Australia is on lockdown, basically, or it will be on lockdown. So,
let me
you
rephrase.
heard it here. We're the CNN.
Yeah, the Yokohama card is not happening for me. I don't know if
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with everybody else up there. That might still be, could still very well be popping off. As far as I know, it's a go. But it's
yeah.
just
Well, I guess you have to be in Japan, right? So they're gonna have to make a all Japan card.
it'll be yeah. I reckon that's how it'll kind of go. It'll be a real all Japan kind of unit, which is good, man. I mean, they could still do Asukara and No Face and that kind of shit, unless they're trying to
Yeah,
say all that for another thing. And another issue is going to be, I don't know how it's working in Korea or how it's working in Japan or whatever. Like all the local shows and everything down here have been canceled because you can't have big groups of people together. But
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, the
Fuck.
shows here they canceled. Like this month they cancel all of them because they just don't want to take the risk. You know what I mean? Of
It's
people
just
coming
that's it.
together.
As mad as I am, like I needed that paycheck and everything. But
Mhm.
like at the end of the day, like if this shit is real, like what's the fucking point, man? What's the point? Just everybody
Exactly.
like everybody go home, chill out for 2 weeks. If you get sick, go to the doctor. If you don't get sick, you're good. Let's start life over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to get sick, man, especially as an athlete, because that one sickness could just derail everything you've worked for.
Especially talking about it's some crazy respiratory disease. Like I'm not trying to fuck my lungs up. So everybody, like my mom messaged me this morning before I started talking. She's like, "Why are you self quarantined? Have you been exposed?" I was like, "No." I'm just not trying to go out and maybe get this shit. My gym's closed, so I can't go to
Mhm.
work. I can't work out. I'm gonna hang out at my house. Like I'm just taking care of myself here.
For the gym, like what exactly are you doing out there, like as an employee of the gym?
as an employee, I coach one night a week over there. Basically, I coach some of the fight team stuff, and then I coach intro to Muay Thai, teach an MMA class and a boxing class. So just do that a little bit. Teaching, handing some skills off to some of these Australian hipsters.
They have some big they have some big you guys have a decent amateur team too, right?
Yeah, they got a lot of guys for sure. There's a lot of dudes on it. I mean, Simon's done a pretty good job, like they kind of cultivating a little crew there. Yeah, there's a ton of them. It's not too many pros right now, but there's a good size amateur. I mean, I take that back. There's a decent amount of pros. It's just there's not any big guys. they but yeah, he's got a good little amateur squad going. I reckon like down the line, a lot of these guys could end up he'll end up having a pretty good little squad of he'll have a good group of like local level pros for sure.
Is Simon, I'm thinking Simon is the one that took that fight in Macau on 12 hours notice.
Yeah, that's Simon.
And he went in there and got the knockout, right?
Knocked out what's his face, the American guy. God damn it, what's his name?
Yeah, he's kind of like an old school guy, right?
Yeah. Fuck it. He fights like once a week.
Shannon Rich? Was it Shannon Rich?
Yeah.
Hey, I remember that. I remember watching that show, and I was like, "Damn, they're like this dude took the fight on like 6 hours notice because somebody else fell out."
Yeah, they're just like, "Hey, you want to fight?" He's like, "Yeah, all right, cool." And then so he went there, cornered Raja, fought there, and then he got on a plane and flew up to corner me in Japan because I was fighting. I would have been fighting Shemetov or something.
Yeah. That's just that, man. Your coach is a fucking legend right there, man. Taking a fight on 2 hours and then flying to across the pond into
Yeah,
Japan and cornering you. It's crazy, man.
fucking wild, bro. Oh shit. Oh, god damn it. This whole virus thing is killing me, bro. Really
Not
making me
literally though.
not
The
literally. I'm healthy.
Yeah, you don't want to be like jinxing yourself and shit. But
Yeah.
you're in self quarantine, so once you self quarantine, I think you'll be all right. With then what is like the plan for yourself, man? I know you were gonna try to fight on Yokohama, but then like with if you let's say you did fight there, then it's just like you're just trying to get a fight on every card that's coming up. Is that what you were trying to do?
I was trying to fight 4 times. I still want to fight 4 times this year. Just keep going, and then maybe we get to New Year's Eve and we have a belt fight or something like that. But let's see what I mean. This whole Corona thing is kind of throwing a fucking monkey wrench in the works for everything. But
With yourself, it seems like you found a good home, in Rizin, and there's a lot of guys that kind of get a fight in there, but then all of a sudden you don't see them on the cards anymore. Like, what do you think is kind of the recipe to stay with Rizin? Of course, as a outsider, as like a guy that's not Japanese, what I mean? What is the recipe? Because a lot of guys don't return.
yeah, man, I think the recipe is like you got to you got to get there, but B, you got to go on. You got to be willing to fight, man. You got to go and put on a show. And if they call, and the other thing is if they call you up and they say, hey, you want to take this fight, take it. Don't sit around and bullshit with them. They don't. I think a lot of guys they want to. They want to do it. They want to do it. But then when the fight comes up, they want to sit there and they want to negotiate about like, well, I want to do more money. I want to do this. Or I want to change this way. It's like, nah, man, just fucking show up and fight. And then they'll take care of you. And end up, and like at the end of the day, like it's like you got to do other things too. Like I mean, I think the big part thing for me is like I've been making a real effort to like I've been taking Japanese lessons and shit like that. And like I'm trying to be having a cooking show in Japan or some shit, Bob Sapp style. But really the thing is, at the end of the day, is like you just got to go up, and when you go up there, you got to shoot your shot. You can't fight fucking scared and fight. I see a lot of guys get up there and then they have these boring fights where maybe they'll win, but they've just been belly button fucking a guy for 15 minutes. That's not how you get brought back up there. That's not it. Don't go up there
Yeah,
and just win. Go up there, put on a show.
yeah, because you do see some guys that go up there, they lose, but they come back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's because they put on crazy fights. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is a different culture. It's not like if you
Different.
win, of course you're gonna fight for the belt, but
Yeah.
there's not many belts, and it's all about getting as many fights as possible
Yeah,
in
right.
the
Like I
organization, right?
fought 4 or 5 times this year, then have one fight for a belt. Like,
Yeah, because it's all
you know,
about getting paid. I think that's a different attitude that people have.
yeah, man. At the end of the day, like, I think guys forget like we're prize fighters. Everybody,
Mm,
I'm not doing this shit for fucking Instagram likes and stuff. Like,
mm,
fuck you, Instagram. I'm doing this shit for cash. This is how I pay my bills. This is how I have this house. But like, yo, like and I see it more. I think just because with like there's like I said, there's a lot of amateurs and young guys at this gym. They're so concerned with like their social media and all this kind of shit.
mm.
Like, well, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't do this. Like, man, just go fight. Go fight if you're about it. If you're not about it, go get a real job, homie. Like, people are wild.
Yeah, social media is important to a certain level, right? But then you got to go out there and you got to win and fight.
You gotta have it. You gotta have it to promote yourself, to promote your
Mm,
fights, to do all that shit. But like, it shouldn't be about that. You shouldn't be fighting to be the cool kid, and you shouldn't be fighting to be Instagram famous or whatever. You should, if you get Instagram famous, it should be because you're a good fighter. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It should be
yeah.
the inverse.
Or you're sexy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
sexy.
either one.
You hit
Yeah,
that. You hit that little search button down there at the bottom, and God, some shit will
yeah.
pop up. Word,
Or
word.
if you're lucky, you'll be like sexy Yama who can like fight
Yeah,
and he's sexy.
yeah. Find you one who can.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Find one could do both and shit. Like so like if you could put a card together for yourself, you know what I mean? Like you're the matchmaker for
Yeah,
Rizin, you know, what's the card that you want to make? What like if Manel Cape could fight, you know,
yeah.
if he's defending the title, who do you think should defend who should he fight? Do you think he should fight
Ooh.
Horiguchi? Should he fight Hero? Who should he fight?
I think Cape and Horiguchi probably makes the most sense. But the problem is where's Kyoji at with his health?
Mm,
You know, I think that fight makes sense. You do that New Year's Eve, do something like that. Um, I wouldn't say no. This is gonna sound crazy. I wouldn't say no to Cape and Tension. I wouldn't say no to that.
no, I wouldn't say
Uh,
no to either.
I wouldn't say no to that. I would like to see that one. I'd like to see. I wouldn't say no to Cape and Mirku Asukara either. I think that's an interesting fight as opposed to Kai. I think weight class, but whatever. Um, and then outside of that, like if you want to build a super card, man, you put Cape on it. You put Tofik on that thing because that dude is
Mm,
an axe murderer. I don't know what he does in Azerbaijan, but he is a stone cold killer. He's so good. I think you do that. You put Ham on there, and then we got to think Japan, right? So like you got to you got to have Reina on it. They love them some Reina up there, you know. And then from there, bro, this is where they've been getting away from things. They've been having good fights and they've been doing all this J kick and all this stuff, which is great. We got to get some fucking freak show fights on there, man. You got to
mhm,
find me an Aki Bono to go knock out or something like that,
mhm.
Bring Minimal Man back to life. Fuck it, dude. Pump him full of some shit. Like, I think the lower end of the card, like if you keep it the lower end, you
Mm,
can have it more like the Japanese, like that kind of shit. But like, I really think they need to start doing more with not only the bigger guys, because like people like to see bigger dudes fight straight up, and then they need to they got to bring back some freaky shit. Got to do it. That's Japan, man. You got to do it. You can't have like a card with. I love you, Shingo, but you can't just have like 30 fucking bantamweight fights where I couldn't tell you who half the dudes are.
mm.
Like throw a couple things. Yo, I'm trying to fight, and I know he's signed with Road and shit. But I'm trying to fight Aragoil, whatever the hell his name is. Let's make
Yeah,
that
what
fight up.
happened to him? You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
haven't seen him in like a while.
where's he been? So I'm trying to let's do Jake Heun versus that dude. How's that sound?
That's a good fight right there.
Oh,
I was on like Twitter or something, and then someone just put up that fight, Fedor versus Cheongman, the
yeah.
Korean giant.
I was watching it last night on Twitter too.
Yeah, that was an awesome fight, man. Because at that point, Choi was like a legit threat. Like he was a monster, and
He was huge,
Fedor
and
went
he
in there and fought him.
twice and beat Fedor's face up.
Yeah, like he smashed Fedor. Like because I talked to Mighty Mo because Mighty Mo has fought Cheong, man, like twice or 3 times. I don't know how many times. And I asked him like, how hard does he really punch? Because it doesn't look like he's putting that much force
Yeah,
into anything. He's told me like just the jab, that feels like someone's like overhand right. That's what
yeah,
Mighty Mo was telling me. Like when he gets hit with his jab, and I was like, for real? Then it must have been like when he was dropping all those hammers on Fedor, those things must
that,
have been punishing.
you saw Fedor's face when he got up afterwards. He's all
Yeah.
swollen. Like never seen Fedor look like that after a fight ever. Like even when he's been in fights with like dudes with good hands and stuff. Yeah, man. Then they had on their Twitter too. Somebody's been going through just dropping shit on Twitter. They had Remy Bojanski versus Aki Bono, and I was just like, oh, this type of shit they need to be doing. Like,
Yeah, they need to find some of those guys, some of those like pro wrestler guys or sumo guys or just
I
like
would I would
bodybuilders.
yes, just get some start co-promoting hard with fucking KSW. Get some of those juiced up poles over here. Let's go. Like,
There's some Japanese bodybuilders. When I was at Rizin, I saw some of those guys. Like they're kind of famous because they were taking pictures with a bunch of people outside, in the arena during the
yeah,
intermissions. I was like, who the hell is that guy? I don't even know who the hell these people are, but they must be
right.
famous because they're taking pictures. There's like people lined up at the
Really
arena taking pictures with these bodybuilders. So it's just like get one of those guys in there and Jake Heun versus like the bodied up Japanese dude.
versus Mr. Olympia Japan. Hell yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some interesting matchups they can make, but um
Yeah,
in some ways, I kind of understand that they want to take some of the old Pride stuff and then kind of like leave some of the old Pride stuff behind and move forward. But yeah, you
I
do
get
need to throw in those some of those because that's how it
you
works,
guys.
you know.
You
Yeah,
know
you
what
got
I
to
mean?
sprinkle like two of those in there, just like one in the beginning.
Because that's what'll bring eyes in. You know, that's the kind of shit that like people if they're scrolling through Fuji TV or whatever, they see some. They're just like, oh, they're not into fighting, whatever. But then they see some massive man fighting a welterweight or something. They'll probably stop and watch. You know?
Who would be some fighters like internationally that they could bring in just some freak show guys? Because nowadays it's like all those guys are just too old, man. I don't see
All the
people coming back.
like they could get like I reckon he could still grab like you could bring in Bigfoot Silva, whatever. Like he's
Yeah.
still about taking losses. The God, who's it? That's what I was saying. Like I reckon you'd have to go to Poland where they're kind of doing more of that shit over there.
Mhm.
Got a heap of dudes over there. You could get Pujanowski over, you know, former world's strongest man. But I think a lot of it's like you said, like you're gonna have to pull dudes from pro wrestling. You're gonna have to pull dudes from
Mhm.
sumo or that kind of shit.
It's I don't know. That's what they need. You need to have something different. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can't just be trying to
Don't,
do the same old
don't try
pattern.
don't try to run the same pattern that everybody else is doing, man. It's not gonna work. And like I'm not saying they do that, but like I just and this is a lot of this is selfish of me. Like I want to beat up massive men. I just want to fight giants. Like,
Yeah,
so
it's more attention, man. Because more attention is more money. That's how it
yeah,
works.
100%, bro. 100%. So what do you got going on? You just still chill in the house for the next couple of days or what?
Yeah, man. Like I don't actually go to my work until the beginning of April. They're just
Oh,
locked it. Like they just said, hey, keep 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 like on the low until then, and then it should be back to normal. So I was just like, all right, so, what can you
I,
do? Uh,
I reckon that's the way we're gonna head down here. I think in the next couple of days they'll be like, hey, all y'all need to stay home until April. I
then you gotta start working out, doing something, huh?
have to do something.
You can put the oil. You can put the oil in your on the floor and start doing running machine with the oil on the floor and shit. Like you're gonna have to grapple with your girl or something. You're gonna have to practice submissions or something over there.
Yeah. Oh shit, homie. Wild days. Wild days.
Yeah, man. Well, anything like anything you working on right now? I know you're working on that learning the Japanese and stuff. So I guess you got time to do that a little bit
Yeah,
while you're
I could
chilling out.
had some shit. I've had some shit going on like in my personal life, so I quit going to school, so I need to probably get back
Mm,
on it. Like that Japanese is hard, bro. Like
yeah, language is
like
hard.
language is hard in general, but like it's really difficult. It's harder. It's proving to be a bit harder for me, just because the like trying to learn it with the, in the with the characters, learn it in the
Mm,
hiragana and all that. So it's just like, what am I looking at again? Now I'm starting to get the characters down a little bit. So like I can be on Twitter and like I can kind of read what people are saying. I have no idea what it means, but I can make the noises.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Is like you know the noises and then you know the symbols. Now you just
Yeah,
gotta figure out what those words are.
fuck that shit.
But yeah, it's just yeah, it's good that you're putting in the effort, like it's kind of like reverse of like the other fighters, like everybody's like, "Oh, you know what? How come these Brazilian guys are not learning English?" But there's a lot of guys that are learning English. There's a lot of look at
I
that
don't think.
Chinese girl. She
Yeah,
she learned English just to say
yeah,
shut up.
yeah. Shut up.
Yeah, that's just the best.
It's so funny, dude. That she's good, man. I think she was supposed to fight in Rizin a while back, like before she signed with UFC.
Oh, she was booked to fight in Rizin, and then the UFC snatched her up before they actually went through with the fight.
Cheeky pricks.
Yeah, yeah, you know how it works. But,
Yeah,
yeah, man, Jake, we've been, like, on for, like, almost an hour, man, so I think,
bro.
we
Yeah, man.
good to go, man. It's good catching up with you, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, you get on that card after. The next
Yeah.
card is Rizin 22, right? In
This
Yokohama?
22 is Yokohama. Do you know where somebody was asking me the other day? So hypothetically, let's say this thing happens and everything blows over. Where is the next card? Do you know?
No, I don't even know. Like, there's
I'm
only speculations, you know what I mean?
saying
Like,
it's all
there's
speculation.
yeah, there's all speculations, and then Ryzen will come out and, they'll announce
No
it when they announce it.
card 3 weeks before it's gonna happen.
Yeah. But everybody like, the people involved already know.
Everybody knows, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not gonna tell anybody until, like, they feel like they need to tell anybody, so
Yeah.
but
Keep
yeah,
it
man, hopefully you could get on that card. It's probably gonna be in June or something like that. I think
I would
that's what
think
they're
so.
gonna do.
June,
Yeah.
May.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, be safe and, people watching, be safe and stay home if you can stay home and
There's no sense being out there, guys. Just relax, chill out. Take some mental health weeks. You don't need to be out there. Don't need to be doing private lessons. Don't need to be doing that shit. I can chill out.